this conversation last week and unakumbuka tukifungwa phone lines wa Kenya wengi, young Kenyans especially were very worried. Wanasema aya bana wakora watakuja hapa Kenya. Oh, we don't like this idea of removing visa restrictions. But yes, what transport alikuwa hapa ka clarify. Akasema the government wata come about na an electronic mechanism
identity.
Yeah, where they will know the profile of everyone that's coming to Kenya.
We know you are coming.
But let me be real, Kev. Me, I have no problem with people coming to Kenya to do business. You know, maybe making this their own home.
But who come to wafanye business?
Exactly.
Kenya vile sio kuwa.
Yeah. Shida sasa ni mambo ya overpopulation. I don't know whether we look at things from that angle, but we're so excited kwa sababu right now Bwana Honorable Samuel Masaki is here with us. Karibu sana Mwesh.
Asante sana.
How was the weekend?
The weekend was very good.
Yeah.
Nashukuru.
Lost Mase. You've been that busy this year. You know, the last time we had like a conversation, ilikuanga, I think the beginning of the year, ama last year, I think it's January.
Yes.
January, February.
Yes.
It's good to hear from you, bro.
Good to hear from
you. Karibu sana. So, umesikia hapa hivi, there's a lot that's happening on the dailies.
Yes.
Tumeanza na the Standard. And they're saying, free for all visa. Will it make Kenya a haven for fugitives? Watu wanasema wakora watakuja hapa hivi mambo ya visa restrictions ikatolewa.
I don't think so because I think the president was very specific, and also I think the CS clarified that before you come to the country, okay, you will have those processes, even why you are coming, all those details will be provided, because you cannot just wake up and say you are traveling to another country without any good reason. Maybe you're a visitor, maybe you're a tourist, maybe you're going for work, maybe for business. So those things will be actually provided in the website. Not necessarily mean that you're going to apply for the visa. They say there's no visa, but at least you'll have a prior engagement before you come in. You'll be electronically identified at the airport. They have your database, so that will be able to actually single out any person who has any ill intentions to coming to the country will not be able to have that access.
Yes. That's interesting. But unajua, like, you know, there's a situation happening in South Africa. This is a xenophobia thing. Most black South Africans, from what I understand, wanaogopanga sana wakiona foreigners, kwanza Nigerians huko, sasa zingine hata wa Kenya. Wanasema watu wanakuja kuchukua makazi. When you look at the situation in Kenya, makazi si mingi. Now when you're talking about other people coming to Kenya to do business here, maybe to work, call Kenya a home, I think kuna shida ya overpopulation maybe, and the few opportunities, you watachukua the best brains. Employers will just decide, kuna Uganda fulani hapa ameiva, why can I give him this job? Don't you think they'll increase a lot of competition for already struggling Kenyans who are looking for jobs?
But I think there's also an existing structure. For you to come in as a visitor or a foreigner, I think you have to apply for the work permit, which I think still remains. It's only for the visa, for the entry visa, but for the work permit, we still have to apply. So you cannot come in here as a tourist person, then you come here and apply for a work permit.
Exactly.
I don't think that can really work. So the structure that are still put in place, the government has thought out in its wise way to have it open so that you can have more visitors, more foreigners coming here, and this will be able to bring us actually foreign exchange. It will be good for us. So I think it is a good idea. But what the government is now working out is how to structure it properly so that by the time it takes effect, we'll not have issues that maybe foreigners are coming from outside to take the opportunities that are there. In fact, we want them to come here and bring let industries,
now overpopulation. Watu kukua wengi, sasa tutaona manyumba huko Kilelesho imejaa tu na foreigners. All these apartments.
Sinige tulipitisha finance bill.
Watataxiwa very dangerous.
Of course. Mwesh, hapo onbia hiyo story ya corruption, Wakenya wengi vijana wanastuka sana story ya kufungua visa cause wakikumbuka hadi story ya kina Dusit, akina UK ni Westgate, zote zilianza na ni corruption ilitembea. Au majamaa ndio jamaa waingie weze kuwa ni mapae ni ma terrorist huku. Ni mahali kitu ilitoka. Hadi ukifuatilia story unasikia hiyo walikuwa wanaishi sijui mahali fulani. Kuna watu wako wanajua. Watu wako. Now here we are, tumefungua hii barabara yote. Do you think our government so far vile tumejipanga kweli? Are we ready for this kweli?
From what I understand, the president made it very clear. Even you listen to him, the way he was speaking yesterday, he was very clear in terms on how we're going to deal with corruption. That corruption, you'll carry your own cross. Whether you're his friend, whether you're his brother, whether you're his wherever, you're going to carry your own cross. There will be no any sacred cow when it comes to corruption. And that has to be clear because the issue that we have had is to let things just fall in place, and we are not dealing with the real issue. Watu wanataka kutumia siasa kidogo kusingizia nini, lakini kusema kweli lazima kila mtu ajishughulishe na akubali kwamba ili nchi yetu isonge mbele lazima tu deal na issue ya corruption.
That's right.
Na that's why you are saying pale airport kutakuwa na mechanism, mtu ambaye anakuja ambaye anaingia kutakuwa na database yake, umetoka nchi gani, are you profiled, because those things are already in the internet. Actually in the Interpol report,
right,
where you are coming from. If you're a criminal in another country and that report is in the Interpol, that means you'll only be detected at the airport. So those things, I know there's a proper structure that they're working on to deal with that.
By the mesh, unajua umegusia hapo corruption, ukasema the president said it very clearly, anaenda kudeal na corruption fiti. But uko mbele, just in a few minutes, I'm going to ask you about maneno going to happening at the JKIA. We saw the deputy president akisema, it's the previous government walikuwa na fake generators hapo hivyo. But the some Kenyans were saying, you know what? People have to be held into account. Kuna watu wanatry kusabotage hapa hivi serikali and then powerful positions. And apparently there's a former CEO yeye aliachishwa kazi. Why aren't we seeing CEOs pia hawa kuachiwa kazi? Ama ni juu labda jina ina sound similar na jina ya watu wengine. We'll be talking about that. Lakini ukiangalia Daily Nation, I think where I'm going with that election. Now, Azimio division, a blessing for Ruto. We're seeing over here implosion. They're saying the split in Raila Odinga's Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition over the bipartisan talks report is proving to be a blessing for President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza, which has been under pressure from a united opposition 1 year after the hotly contested election. History kwa page 4 and 5. Now, there's many questions as to whether Azimio truly wame split ama ini mambo ya media. Zilikuwa na chiki kwa mablogs, Wakenya wanasema media stop pushing this narrative of saying Azimio wana separate. Who told you Azimio are separated? Juzi tuliona Raila alikuwa alitembelewa na Uhuru Kenyatta and also politicians from Kiambu. Mheshimiwa Honorable Samuel Masaki. What is going on in Azimio? Is it just a media facade ama kusema ukweli kuna venye wameanza kugawanyika because of the article?
I think it's too early to talk about it, because they will issue their own statements. I really do not speak on behalf of the Azimio. But from the speculations, things don't look good. I think people were not ready for the report. Na hiyo report ni kama ilileta mshike kidogo hiyo upande. Kuna wale ambao labda wangependelea hiyo report labda ikataliwe, na kuna wale walisema hiyo report iko sawa kwa mwanzo wa mazungumzo. Kwa sababu hatuwezi sema mazungumzo yataendelea na hatujapata report wamefikia wapi, yale mazungumzo ilikuwa mambo gani ambayo yalizungumziwa. So ni vizuri ni wale ambao labda hawajafurahia na hiyo report, ambao walikuwa na nia zingine, labda walitaka watu warudi maandamano, labda hizo, kuna wale ambao hawajafurahia generally. Lakini kulingana na yale taarifa ambayo ilizungumziwa na msemaji ama mkuu wa Azimio, Raila Amolo Odinga, alizungumzia na akasema kwamba itakuwa ni vizuri kwamba mwanzo wa mazungumzo kuna hiyo ripoti na inaendelea mazungumzo yatapokuwa yakiendelea, tutaenda kupata mambo mengine ambayo italetwa pamoja.
If at all speculative, speculatory, if at all Azimio wame split, hii inaweza kusaidia sana UDA. I mean, this is an opportunity to pounce on this division, enda huko kwa ground, ambia wa Kenya vile hata wawezani. I mean, this will give people like the deputy president talking points. Ulisikia kwa news le president, ulisikia kwa news DP alikuwa anasema Kalonzo, you're not going anywhere, igari endi mahali kuja huku. So alafu pia hapa Honorable Masaki, if you can see on page 5 of the Nation, wameandika hapa hivi, Uhuru emerges as the face of opposition. Is the former president the face of opposition now? Ama bado ni Raila?
I think from what we are seeing, is the one, since he's the chairperson of the Azimio coalition, he looks to be the face of the opposition. And he's trying to push that agenda of opposition. But from the inside teams, because these are people we talk to, they feel they want to continue with the talks, because politics is all about interests. It's about interest generally. So if these interests are well catered off, then you realize that pressure will go down.
Alright, so let's take a short break. Alafu tukirudi tutaendelea na hii conversation. Guys, we're hanging out with Honorable Samuel Masaki, senior official up for UDA. He's a lawyer as well. He also owns the Masaki Foundation. Plus, he's the UDA Director of Youth Affairs. And right now, it's 23 minutes after 7. Kumbuka, we're live on channel 172 on KTN BTV. Up before start times, you can also stream live this show on www.vibesradio.co.ke. Unaweza tupata pia Facebook as well as YouTube. The handle is the same, @vibesradio.ke. I'm your local energy provider, Otada the Beast.
And of course, man, I'm a Batman, Kevo Batman right here for you.
Today, guys, I've got some vibes, Cattell, Clocks.
Morning Vibes, where you are the MVP. No negative vibes.
Vibes, Cattell, Clocks, Popcorn, and Gaza Slim on 104.5 Vibes Radio. Happy holidays. Kevin Kevo Batman, we are Morning Vibes. Lafu pia, tuko na Kakiru. It's all about, it is all about
Tazama utuzwe, manze. Tazama utuzwe, manze, ni game fiti sana, manze. Iko kwa simu yako, bro. Ingia tu kwa nini yako, manze, ya Ganjire, unapiga namba hapo. Paybill.
Yes.
Paybill manze kuna nitoka. Paybill ni 145656 manze. Hapo kwa account manze unaweka initial KM for Kevo and Matara na bro. Doni yako, all you got to do manze, do nafaa kutumia ni 20 bob to 50 bob. Ukitumia 20 to 50 bro, uko na chance ya kuwin 50,000 to 100k manze. 20,000 to 50k do 50 manze, na watu wana win. Na ukiwa ucheza from 50 to 100k unaweza win 100,000 to 300,000. Guess what? Watu na win na hii festive bro. Hii ni kampenya tumekupatia manze. All you got to do ni simple sana. Ingia kwa simu yako manze, Paybill, andika 145656 account, eka initial KM and you are done manze bro. Ganju na goja. After the best part about this story ni ati game, after every 1 hour wanatangaza mshindi, after every 1 hour manze.
Guys are winning.
Na unaweza cheza as many time as you wish bro, you never know. Kitu ni yako
24/7 365.
Tazama utuzwe.
Good stuff. All right. Right now 27 minutes after 7. Once again guys, we're hanging out with our friend Honorable Samuel Masaki. Is the UDA Director Youth Affairs, and of course also the founder, he's a curator of the Masaki Foundation. He's also a lawyer. Hapa sasa tunachambua of course some of the top stories in the country. And Mesh,
yes,
when you look at siasa ya UDA, just the other day the president the 60th Jamhuri Day celebrations alikuwa amesema the country is headed towards the right direction. Tuko kwa a positive trajectory basically. Alikuwa anasema you know he deal with corruption akasema you know he has had to make very very thorough decisions, sacrifices manze. For example, mambo ya Finance Act, you know, where assessment yako as a young Kenyan, as a politician, as a businessman, and this is as a Kenyan, ukiangalia vitu kwa ground, truly, are we headed towards the right direction? Ama gava can step up, you know, kwa sababu kwa ground, hata kama economists wanasema ati things are looking good, but yoni macro, from a macro perspective, kwa ground, things are bad. Wani watu wamecomplain sana, people are saying prezo ulitu promise kazi, but hakuna kazi. So what are you saying that the country is going towards the right direction?
I think ni kitu mzuri. If you listen to what the president said yesterday, generally speaking, even listen to the economist, the country is headed in the right direction. Because fixing the economy was the biggest challenge, and that's what the president was focused on. We are now on track as a country in terms of stabilizing the economy. We are on the right track.
Like
the issues about, you know, the issues about promises, that one we can debate about it. Because why do I have to keep a promise, but I'm already falling in a cliff? Just because I need to keep that promise.
Okay.
So subsidizing, let's talk about subsidies. We bring the fuel subsidy, we bring the unga subsidy. That one is going to cost how much money in our taxpayers' money? So it is good. What the president has been focusing on, Angalia, is agriculture. Supporting farmers, giving them the first subsidies, fertilizers. That is going to help us. Ukiangalia saizi to increase our maize. Ile mavuno ya mahindi ambayo tumetoka from 40 to 60 million bags. That is an increase. So we have actually we have focused more of production subsidy rather than consumption subsidies, which is going to help us grow the economy and going to reduce the high cost of living. Saizi unga watu walikuwa napiga kelele unga iko juu, unga sasa imerudi chini. We are talking about less than 100. Unga imerudi chini. So what the president wanted to focus on is to deal with the issue that is at hand. We can argue about the promises. That one we can debate.
What about jobs? You're seeing issue. In fact, it's one of the biggest issues. He promised us 100,000 jobs every year. Lakini sasa, it looks like these jobs ziko maju, haziko hapa.
What are the remedies? Look at the project like the housing project. How much work is it going to create? Unajua watu wamepoliticize kitu ya housing mpaka nikashangaa sana. Ati housing project ni project ya watu wa mjengo pekee. People have diluted that. Considering housing, kuna accountants ambao wanahitajika, kuna engineers, kuna architects, kuna plumbers, kuna electricians ambao they're going to be fully employed kwa hii housing project. Okay? Every year we're going to have 250,000 units. The projects are already started. In the counties are already been rolled out. So what I would just say is I have very full confidence with our president. Let's give him time.
Lakini
tumpatie muda kidogo is going to fix these issues.
Courts walisema clearly.
Yes.
The housing levy haina legal framework. This thing is illegal. Mara and you're a lawyer. Na wakasema niaje ati we're giving you guys about extra 45 days. January wanapatia serikali 45 days to go and appeal. You know, that ruling by the courts. But at the same time, waliambia wa Kenya tuendelee kulipa hiyo housing levy. Sasa mimi tusielewi ni courts mulisema this thing is illegal. But you're still telling us to continue paying for the next 45 days as we wait for Gava to appeal. Now, if the courts have said this thing is not good, Wakenya pia outcry ulisikia kwa ground wanasema they don't really support this housing levy. In fact, kuna watu walikuwa wanasema wanafaa kuwa refunded hiyo pesa because it is illegal in itself. That's why you're telling us over here it is something good. There's something I don't understand because it is hurting us. For example, ilikuwa nachikati wanasema oh so fast you manyumba 600 zimejengwa Homa Bay. You're building for villagers houses to do what? Watu wako na maboma zao huko hivyo. People have their own farms. Watu wanaenda kushuka apartment kwa nini? So Kenya is saying we don't need those houses. Atutaki hiyo pesa tunafanyia watu ati alafu unajua sasa the other problem is people in the informal sector, Honorable Samuel, are not paying the housing levy. It's only people who are employed. So that's discriminatory in itself.
I think the court was very clear. They did not say it's illegal. They only say that it's discriminatory. Okay, in its nature, but they allowed it. So you ask the question, why did the court really allow it to continue? That the Kenyans continue paying for it
just for 45 days.
So why did the courts allowed it to continue? It's because they felt like not everyone has been included in that program. Okay, they want if it's about everyone paying, let it be everyone paying. Okay, they don't want to be discriminatory the way it's been actually imekuwa ikionyeshwa. So ni vizuri tukubaliane kwamba kuna hiyo rural urban migration and you have to see that watu wengi wanatoka maocha huko wanakuja hapa wanaishi kwa slums. Ndio mtu amejenga huko lakini afika hapa anakuja kuishi kwa slum. Okay, so how are we going to deal with that challenge? You know, it comes a time as a country we have to get someone to fix the issue. Not about the political promises.
Mr. Fix it.
Yeah, we have to fix it. If we allow this cycle to continue, by the time sisi tumeingia kama tumekalia state house, so the country will be in a problem. It will be in a mess.
So you're going to run?
No, I'm not. I cannot predict what is going to happen in the future. Okay, but I can only say that we have to get someone who's going to fix the issue.
Mesh, you want to tell me?
Yes.
Wakenya wana support mambo ya housing levy. Is that what you're telling us here? That we are okay paying that money?
Kenyans are okay. Let me tell you, Kenyans don't have a problem with paying taxes. I can tell you for free. They only have a problem on how these taxes are being managed. And that is what the president has assured Kenyans, that this money that we are paying as taxes, it is going to be used in the right way. Okay? Because we have issues to sort out. Okay? For every 10 shillings, 7 shillings goes in terms of servicing the debt. 3 shillings goes in terms of funding education, paying security agencies, fixing the roads. All that is within that card of taxes. So the president is more focused on how we are going to fix these issues. If we allow ourselves to be at comfort, because ile shida tulikuwa nayo wakati ya former regime is that we are living beyond our means. Okay, wewe unalipwa shilingi 100 lakini unaishi maisha ya shilingi 10,000. It is not possible because you end up unaenda unakopa pesa ili kusustain hii maisha. Okay, lakini uko naingia kwa shimo. Okay, so the only remedy to that is to stop borrowing, okay? Wacha kukopa, kubali ile pesa uko nayo na umanage nayo.
Mesh, lakini kuna kitu sielewi hapa.
Yes.
Because hata ukiangalia vile Uhunye alikuwa ameinvitiwa na Mheshimiwa Kalonzo huko Makueni.
Yes.
Uhuru made it very clear akasema, yani you guys can't let me be. Kila mara Uhuru alifanya. Akasema, inaingia hapa na inatoka hapa. Now, what I'm understanding is this government wana blame Uhuru sana. In fact, juzi tulisikia the deputy president akisema, they're blaming the former government because of the fake generators zilishindwa kutupatia backup electricity at JKIA number 1. But when you look at Kibaki's vile Kibaki aliingia kwa power, he was not blaming boy. Yeah, he move on akaendelea kusort out maneno ya revive the economy, and in about 6 months watu wakaanza kulipa tax. But what we are seeing now is that most KK government officials bado wao walikuwa kwa serikali ya Uhuru, and they still keep on blaming the same government that they were in, including the president who was the deputy president. You know, people were still there as ministers. So I don't understand why there has to be unasema hapa hivyo, you know, but the former government I think it's critical.
Let me tell you, the same time 1 year after Kibaki was in government, we had the same issue. You go to the backlogs, go to the history, go to those history, go even to the magazine, look at the Daily Nation. 1 year we had the same issues, that the economy is not doing well. Life is very hard. But eventually it was fixed. It is in the papers. You go there and check. 1 year after Kibaki was elected as a president, we had the same issues. So it takes only a tough person, painful decisions, okay, to make sure that we turn around the economy, to fix the issues. Because the president would have chosen to say, no, let's have a subsidy of fuel. Let's have subsidy of this. But how much is it going to cost the taxpayers?
What about borrowing? You wanted to know that the government is borrowing thoroughly, you know? What can you say about that? Because even Prezo alisema he's going to cut down on borrowing akiingia kwa power. It's been a year, a little over a year, but borrowing is normal.
But let me tell you something. You even realize we had an issue with the at some point where civil servants had delayed in the payment of their salaries. You remember that?
Yes, yes.
It is because of what was happening. We found the coffers were dry. There was nothing. And that is the truth. Turning around that, mpaka kuambia watu sasa, you have to wait. Let's use what we have collected to pay you. We are not going to borrow outside.
I understand.
The issue that we are here, the debts, ile debt ambayo tulikuwa nayo, servicing them was very high because of the interest rates that we have. Okay? Iyo shida, fixing that and putting the country to the line, ndio ilikuwa challenge. But now, you heard what the president said, we are now on the stable. Yes, we are tunapanda.
Check mwesh mimi na like sana Masaki na like sana vile unaenda na like vile uko nini vibrant sana.
Yes.
Na unapatia vijana wengi sana hope hapo nje. At the same time Wakenya wengi hatuna wasiwasi vile tumesema, si kulipa kodi ndio shida, vile inatumika ndio inakuwa ni issue. Unapata kama saa hii president round alikuwa anapiga amesema mimi nakutafutia mapesa, watu wale dignitaries wale wameenda tu na kwa hiyo the convoy ile watu wameenda tu nayo ni karibu kila mtu. Unapata mama wetu wa budget akwetu nani Nyakongo ametoa noma ni aje watu wanalipwa doubles unafolipwa 10 lakini unapigwa 30, lakini ni njia ya nyuma hizi 20 hazijulikani vile zinatoka. Akijaribu kupiga hiyo nduru anakuwa tena yeye ndio mbaya. So ndio watu wanashindwa, is the government really ready to fight corruption?
The government is ready and committed to fight corruption. You realize there was an issue that we had a problem with the PS. You remember? There's a PS who had issues with that, and I think that issue is still also in court, if I'm not wrong. And the president made that decision. If you're involved in corruption, you're fired. She was fired. Okay? And replaced with someone who can do the work. Because, like I've said, there's no sacred cow in these issues of corruption. We have to fix it. And we have to take bold and painful decision in terms of where we want the country. Because if you're going to entertain people around you who are involved in corruption, then it's going to actually move and it's going to spread out. And we'll be in a total mess.
Is that the same case ukiangalia mambo ya JKIA, power blackouts? What is your assessment? Nini inafanyika na mambo ya power blackouts?
I think the issue of JKIA, it was just sabotage.
Really?
That was a real sabotage. Because there's no way you can explain we have generators, okay, that are there, and people just chose not to make it work. Okay, and that is why the CS was very clear, and he said that they are going to inviting people, inviting the directorate of DCI to investigate these issues, because people are deliberating watu ambao wanatumika. There are people who are being actually used by the former regime to sabotage what the government is doing.
Sorry,
it is happening.
I understand. Okay, fair enough. But
and I'll give an example. Hapa kama uko hapa wewe ni mtangazaji hapa, and someone choose not just to switch on the mic, na kwa hapo nyuma behind the unajua sasa amekusabotage. Lakini
Senator Cherargei, a member of the Kenya Kwanza coalition government, alisema CS Murkomen. Now hii mambo ya sibling rivalry, for example, alisema CS Murkomen, wacha kuongea hapa mambo ya committee. Yeah, kama utoshi kazi, tell us,
step down.
And he said it is only when it comes to matters corruption ndo tunaona all these other things happening in the energy sector. We're seeing a lot of blackouts. So a member of the Kenya Kwanza team, a senior member, Senator Cherargei, calls out CS for transport. What is happening,
boss?
In fact, my question here is, this now we're seeing the president, hata juzi alikuwa anasema kuna watu wenye ni kama president mwenyewe anajua kazi kuwaliko. Are these people letting down the president?
I will not say so. I will not single out, because
you know the likes of CS Davis, Chirchir,
let me tell you, people who understand this game very well. We have been here for a while. There's a lot of politics that do this. Between CS and Cherargei, kuna siasa mingi ndani. Na more of succession politics, more of wale watu ambao wanataka kuonekana wana siasa, wana nguvu. Sometimes politicians, you know, when you want to your name to be in the radar, ama jina yako ikue tu, you have to find a way. But there's nothing personal about this. It is about politics.
Stay relevant.
Yeah, to stay relevant. Yeah, there's nothing. Because why only him? Why only him?
Lakini pia tulisikia senator wa Kakamega calling out the president, akisema there are people there wanakuangusha. He called out CS Moses Kuria. Yeah? He said, Mr. President, shuffle these guys. Senator Cherargei is not the first one to actually go and castigate members of the government. Is UDA a sinking ship?
No. We are not. And I will tell you why we are not. Because look at, I will take you back to what we promised Kenyans. In the plan, we said very well that once we get in office, there are things that we are going to sort out to make sure that we deal with the issues. Number one, of corruption. How are we going to make sure that we have independent institutions, that they are doing their work without being monitored by the executive? Okay? The DCI. The EACC, the judiciary, that they will have the independence. And we say even the police, that they will have independency to control their own budget. Because anyone who gives you money and is controlling you, you cannot be able to do your work very well.
Okay.
That one was done. They have their own accounting officer, the police. They are doing their own things without being supervised. And there's no one who can say that the president alinunua simu hivi akapigia mtu akamwambia wewe wachana na hiyo kesi, wachana na hiyo. President was very clear yesterday and said kama iko simama hapo useme. So it is very clear. That one we promised and we have delivered. The remaining 7 judges wa Supreme wa High Court ambao wamekuwa appointed. All of them were appointed. Okay, kulikuwa na siasa mingi sana ambayo ilisimamisha vitu mingi. You heard what the president was saying, including the cases like the Kimwarer case, that watu walikuwa natumia siasa kuleta kesi. And that's what we said, that we want the independent institution to do their job without getting involved in politics. Let politicians ask that the politicians deal with politics.
All right.
Hapo kasa hivi Kev, unakaa hapo kwa Kimwarer Dam. Niko nataka tusaidia hivi mweshi. Buche kasa hivi for example, waliachiliwa. Walipekana wana kitu ya kujibu. Huyo nani nani huyo jamaa? Walikuwa big CS waliachiliwa with no evidence. Lakini ukweli ni ati 60 something billion zili lost.
That is not true. That is not true. In fact, if you get the facts of this matter, is that us as a country, we are the one who are actually at loss because of the interest that we are paying. This contractor was mobilized on the ground, okay? A signed contract, but because of politics, the work did not go on because hakupatiwa the land, because one of the guarantees ambayo ilikuwa kwa investor apatiwe shamba ajenge dam. Okay, but it was because of politics haikujengwa, hakupatiwa shamba
na pesa.
And na ukumbuke kwamba once this contract are signed, they have their own interest na nini. That's why the president had to leave here and go to Italy, where the investor come from, and negotiate kwamba interest almost 40 billion that we are supposed to pay for the interest for the work not done. Please, wacha sisi to withdraw cases zetu na nyinyi withdraw hizo kesi.
All right.
Because they had already filed that case in the international court. Kwamba we are supposed to pay them 40 billion. Because why would you if you sign a contract here today, you want to revamp this place, okay? Na iko na measures ambazo hizo contracts ziko nazo. If you don't do that, then kuna vitu ambazo utalipia. Gharama ambayo serikali.
Let's take a short break. Yes. Tulipe hizi mabills alafu tuendelee na conversation. Kumbuka tuko na Honorable Samuel Masaki, senior UDA official, is a lawyer as well, and of course he's also the UDA director Youth Affairs. Tukirudi, we are still on the MVP report. Remember, it's Kevo Badman. We are #morningvibes. Pia tuko na kakitu. Tunakujenga na kakitu. The only thing you need is your phone and 50 bob.
Yeah, man.
Utachinda do fiti sana during this holiday season. 7:46. Good morning. Shikilia hapo.
Morning Vibes, where you are the MVP. No negative vibes.
Lava achapi. Wa achapi. Piga lukukula wa achapi. Wa achapi.
Sijui ni taska au ni pills na hivi. Ai, linafanya naona mbili.
One champion, 104.5 Vibe Radio, featuring Mandy Breeder. Noma kabisa, Kevo Badman. We are Morning Vibes. Tuko live up hivyo kwa channel 172 on Star Times. That is BTV on Star Times, KTN. Now we're also hanging out with the one and only Honorable Samuel Masaki, is the UDA Director, Youth Affairs, but also a lawyer, plus the founder of Masaki Foundation. Now, Mesh, last week kuna stuff lani liliona kwa gazeti. And I almost forgot about this. Nikasema I have to ask you this one. Wamesema UDA is actually the most popular party in Kenya. Na is it 31% from that research walifanya kwa ground?
Yes.
Mimi nikasema hapana, I don't believe that. I don't believe. Alafu wakasema ODM is at about 22%. I think UDA is okay. UDA is not, it's not unpopular, but it's not that popular.
It is very popular.
Aye, man.
UDA is growing. Let me tell you. In fact, 31 hiyo ni kidogo. We are supposed to be around 35 from my assessment. Because still you also don't believe this Tifa Paul, eh?
Wanachapa siasa.
Walituchapa kwanza wakati wa campaign. Unakumbuka? Na wakasema
amwatambue na kidogo sahihi. Stories zao ni za jaba.
Walisema kwanza we cannot win any election. But
at the same time
we are not popular.
The Finance Act, I think there's a popular. He Finance Act. He maneno mafuta. Come on, man. You're lying to us.
Let me tell you. Kenyans appreciate true and facts. Wakenya wamechoka na uongo. That is the truth. Hawataki uongo. The moment they see you telling them the truth as it is on the ground, unawaambia now, this is the issue that is on the ground, okay? Saa hizi kama the president hangetoka kwenda kudeal na issues ambazo ziko huko nje kusaidia to accumulate, kama saa hizi dola yetu ingekuwa imefika around 250, because we were artificially supporting the dollar. We were actually spending more than 400 billion supporting our dollar artificially, which is not the case. Wacha dola kama ingebaki vile ingekuwa, hatungekuwa natumia, tulikuwa natumia pesa mingi sana. Look at how much money we have lost. We spent a lot of money in the former regime. This last 5 years ambayo imepita, we spent a lot of money supporting the dollar, okay, which was done artificially. The true facts ambazo iko kwa ground ni kwamba hii dola ingekuwa hata imefika 250 shillings. But because of the president, na hii wanasema hii masafari mingi anatembea, amekaa na watu amekaa na the government of the US, wamekaa chini wamekubaliana, okay, because hata interest rate ya hiyo dola imeshinda, imepanda from 2% imeenda mpaka 5.6%, okay, that is in the Fed, the Central Bank of America. Hiyo dola imekuwa ikipanda, okay, but kwa sababu ya ile uhusiano ambayo tuko nayo na Amerika, imefanya we have been able to sustain our dollar at least 150.
Then why is mbona mafuta yetu bado ni expensive compared to other East African countries?
But no, but our prices with the Tanzania and Uganda is the same.
Sure.
Yes. Check. It is the same.
I was just checking this
The
yesterday.
oil, let me tell you, the oil prices are not controlled by the government of Kenya.
Na mbona magari
control.
zinavuka borders kina kwa mafuta huko kwa jirani?
Because they depend on us, on our port. We only offer them the logistics. They depend on this channel, to Uganda, to DRC, all the way, Eastern DRC.
It's fine, but
Uganda.
you know, apparently when investors are leaving, going to Tanzania. What do you have to say about that?
I think that is a media narrative. That's not true.
Aki, you guys, you serikali guys.
That is not true.
I have a friend of mine. Ametoka amesema Kevin, I can't handle it. Taxes ni mingi sana. Ameenda Tanzania. But
you compare our taxes to the GDP is 15%. Okay? If you compare to other countries, South Africa 30%, go to France 40%. Okay? Go to these other countries.
We're the highest in East Africa.
They're highest.
Sisi ndio highest in East Africa.
Not really. But even compare what unaona kama sisi the arable land for agriculture is only 15%. Okay, compared to go to other countries, go to Uganda 40. Okay, go to actually Uganda is about not even 40, it's around 50% of the arable land for agriculture. Okay, but sisi we depend on the import. We spend more than 500 billion Kenya shillings every year importing foodstuffs. And that's what the president said, that we are now going to focus on
production.
On the production.
Okay, shikilia hapo Mhesh. Promises made during the campaign.
Yes.
Hizi ndo zilifanya mavijana wengi wakavotia President Ruto.
Yes.
Now when you look at the policy conversation, hii bado yani hii serikali inagonga mahasla ndo walivotia serikali. Message 2027 itakuwa gani? Kwa sababu hasla narrative, trust me, hiyo ilienda.
I think let me tell you something.
Mama Mboga hayuko kwa picture.
Let me tell you something. If we are going, and why I support the president, if you have to change this country, we have to deal with the issues, real issues on the ground. And that's what he said, that if it was about voting for the president to win the next election, then you're not going to deal with the issues. It is not about the re-election. It's now he was voted to sort out the mess. When that time comes, then people will be able to judge him on what he has done.
Hata kama tunaumia sahi.
No, yes.
Wow.
So nitukaze mshipi.
No, there's no magic that going to happen.
Kidogo tu.
Tukaze mshipi kidogo, because me I'm telling you, if we come here another 1 year, 2 years to discuss this thing, nitakuwa nakwambia boss, I told you, nilikwambia hii tutasort.
The president said at in the next 10 years hata tutatambua Kenya, it will be changed.
Let me tell you,
Singapore.
Yeah, they say Kenya itakuwa the next Singapore. Guys, really
it is going
na
to
corruption tuko nayo na hakuna mechanism imeko ready ya kufight mambo. Wale watu wote wamejulikana juu ya mambo ya corruption. Hadi sasa hatuna yeyote ameshikwa na hii.
Buda akasema hadi Kibira.
Wale wa DCA wakipelekwa dakika 2-3 tunasikia hakuna evidence. Like history ya juzi ya Nikebs. Wametokea wakasema vizuri sana. Mafuta imeletwa. It's not good for human consumption. Imeletwa na government yetu. Hata ikuchukua siku 2. Hata hawakuchukua time ya kwenda kufanya, hata hawezi kuchukua time ya kufanya tena ni nyingine wajue kama ni ukweli, wakarudi tena hii mafuta ni kwa kitu aina ni vitamin A. Seriously, I was like, jeez. Watu nini bana watu. So ukiangalia kutoka hiyo na president wewe uko kwa UDA, do you think inapaka president mafuta vipoa ama inazidi kumharibia game yake?
Mimi wacha nikwambie, na ukisikiza vizuri vile rais alizungumza jana, kama tungekuwa tunataka tunaangalia maneno ya kuangalia 2027 tu, maneno ya re-election 2027, hatuta deal na issue vizuri. We are going to, ule mwenye anaingia, let me tell you, ule anaingia anaharibu, anaachia mwingine. Sasa ile wakati Masaki atakuwa president.
Masaki is the second time you saying this.
Masaki, aim higher.
Oro Masaki.
Unasikiza? Sikiza. Ile wakati sikiza, ile wakati sisi tutakuwa tunakalia viti. Inji itakuwa inakaa namna gani?
I can imagine.
Full of debt. We have ile port labda imepeanwa, imeenda.
Utasema kuna pesa kwa
JKIA imepeanwa, hatuna port, hatuna no.
Yeah.
But the new
everyone has to fix this. We have to allow the president to fix this issue.
Watch out to skin news. Watch out to skin news. Watch out to skin news. Alafu nikupatie time ya closing remarks. I like how you're talking.
Thank you.
Right now, a couple of seconds to saa mbili. Shikilia hapo, guys. We're about to wrap it up with Honorable Masaki. Yes, he's the UDA youth official, Luko Ivo, head of the youth affairs rather. Saini saa mbili kamili. Let's listen to the news. Alafu tukirudi. Let's say peace.
This is the Modern Vibes on Vibes Radio.
Make me water, make me sweat, make me harder, make me lose my breath, make me water.
Hey, man, on. She's so talented. That is amazing Tyler tracking into water on 104.5 Vibes Radio. At about 10 minutes after 8. I hope you're good. I'm your local energy provider, Otada the Beast.
And of course, man, I'm a bad man, right? And I do remember, manze, cave, manze, tazama utuzwe, manze. Ni shughuli hatari sana inaendelea, manze. And kama kwa all you got to do, my people, unaingia kwa simu yako hapo, manze, game inishaanza. Unapay kwa pay bill yako unaandika 145656, alafu kwa account, manze, unaweka initial KM. Alafu ni simple, game ni simple. Ukiwa na 20 bob to 50 bob, unaweza jiwinia at least 20,000 to 50,000. Na ukicheza na 50 to 100, manze, bro says unaweza win 100k to 300k. Manze, so game iko kwa mkono yako, manze. Wewe unaamua vile unataka, wewe unaamua ni donga ngapi unataka, na ni festive season. Cheza kaa wewe, manze. Ni simple sana. 145656, hiyo ndio unatumia kama pay bill. And of course MKKM. Alright. Hashtag ama vipi babalao?
Exactly,
tazama utuzwe.
Unajua bedhe kitu imenibamba na tazama utuzwe is the fact that many Kenyans are playing the game na waso wanashinda.
Yeah.
Guys, hapa kuna Brian Ali ameplay this morning. We have Humphrey, we have Stanley, Victor, Bronson, Grace, John, Savali. Guys are winning, and I want to big up everybody who's on that your movement.
Yeah, manzina. Na naitambua sana, manzina. Ni simple sana. All you got to do ni kuremember kitu moja, bro. After every 1 hour wanatangaza na mshindi. After every 1 hour, and you can play as many time as you want, manzina.
Exactly. Right now, about to wrap it up with the conversation that we're on. Remember, guys, we've been hanging out with our friend Honorable Samuel Masaki. He's the UDA Director, Youth Affairs. He's also the founder of Masaki Foundation, also a lawyer. Sasa, mheshimiwa, before I let you go, unajua tumependa angle lenye umeangalia hii mambo ya policy, mambo ya siasa, and generally the state of the nation. Yani. So what do you see happening? What do you see happening next year?
Next year?
Yeah.
I think
2024. Wow.
2024 is going to be an amazing year. And from my assessment, I know things are going to now to go back to the real positions. Gharama ya maisha itaanza kurudi chini sasa. Alafu sasa watu waanze kupata sasa nafasi za kazi zitakuwepo, kwa sababu ukiangalia ile mipango ambayo serikali imeweka, mambo ya housing, mambo ya SMEs, credits, serikali inaenda kuhakikisha kwamba vijana wengi watapata kazi. Ndio tumesema ile mpango ambayo tulikuwa tunaomba ama tungependa sana Wakenya waangalie ni kwamba ni vizuri kwamba tupatie nafasi rais wetu aweze kuhakikisha kwamba nchi yetu imerudi mahali sawa sawa ambayo itaweza kutusaidia. Already kama hii tunakuanzia 2024 wamesema kutakuwa na influx ya wageni ambao watakuwa nakuja. Itaweza kutusaidia sisi wa Kenya namna gani? Tutaweza kupata fedha za nje ambazo zitatusaidia sisi wa Kenya kwamba tuongeze kwamba ile pesa zetu za exchange, dollar exchange ambayo tutakuwa nazo. So ni mzuri kwamba tuangalie kwa ujumla. Tusiangalie tu hapa tu saizi, kwa sababu tukiangalia hapa saizi tunaweza poteza mwelekeo wetu wa mbeleni ambayo tutapata kwamba tutakuja kuhangaika zaidi. Hakuna haja ni tuwafurahishe saizi tuseme now tunawapatia subsidy, tunafanya hivi, tunarekebisha hii, tunawapatia hii, na uko mbele mambo ikuje kuwa ngumu, kwa sababu sisi tunajiangalia ama wale ambao kwa saizi. Na mimi nimefurahia sana na rais wetu kwa sababu anaangalia hii kwa mtazamo wa mbele, kwamba tusikue na ugumu, viongozi ambao watakapokuja wasikuwe na ugumu kudeal na hii situation ambayo ukiangalia kama nchi zingine ambazo ziko kwa stress ya kudeal na mambo ya madeni.
Alright.
Alafu ni vizuri tuangalie kwa ujumla.
Because we're running out of time. Nilisema ukimention hapo hivyo, unajua siku moja pia sisi tutakuwa hapo hivyo kwa state house na tungependa kuchukua to take over. And I like the ambition I like the ambition that young leaders have. I actually feel unaweza ongeza value mingi sana when it comes to our Kenya narrative. And I'm sure many young Kenyans would like to engage with you in one way or the other. Let me ask you, utakuwa kwa ballot 2027? Maybe not president, of course, but maybe another position.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I will be in parliament.
Oh, you'll be in parliament.
I will be in parliament to make sure that we bring proper legislative agendas and policies, and we'll be there to make sure that the youth voice is heard. And this is not just any other ordinary Kenyan or any other ordinary young person.
Yes.
We are going to bring the vibrancy in parliament.
I like
we have not seen it. We have not seen
bado tutacheki.
Bado tujaona.
Umesema vibrancy. You know, let me tell you, Gen Z.
Yes.
Na Generation Alpha. Generation Alpha now that they are sasa wale wayang kabisa.
Yes.
These guys, man, these guys are crazy.
Yes.
These toys, they're not loyal to anyone. Wakicheza wakiona na dilidali, they're out on to the next one.
Like,
what do you think is the biggest challenge affecting Gen Zs and Generation Alpha? Because they're the guys who I guess you're talking to.
Whether young people working together, young people wants to be inspired. Okay, they want to see a direction for the future. Okay, when they look at me, they need to see how the future is going to look like. Okay, so you need to inspire them.
Relatability.
Yes, you need to relate with them. You need to socialize with them. You need to be accessible.
Are you accessible?
Very accessible.
Is your door always open?
Very open door policy. Mimi kwangu you don't need an appointment.
Hakuna huko sijui golden guard.
Hakuna kwangu
na these guys here watakwambia
hapa namalizana hapa simu
kwangu ndio wanakujanga. In fact wanakuja mweshi yako wanasema ya kuja ingia.
Mweshi sasa hiyo less than a minute juu ya tempi na run. Nilikuwa najaribu kuangalia story ya Mtukandi economist vile juzi kwa nabonga analia nchi iko malipo poa, tuonge tu ukweli, president aambiwe ukweli vile iko. President on the other side juu anabonga the opposite vile akina Ndi wanasema, and I'm like ukiangalia vijana vile tumekaa saa hii Mtukandi na the economist wale wako behind the president ambao ndio ma-advisor wake, ukiwa rate out of 10 unaweza semaje?
Wametosha kazi.
Wameweza ama wamekuwa shaenda last year?
Unajua shida sisi tuko na a lot of freedom na a lot of propaganda. You know what you're saying is not true. That was not captured. If you go even to the handles Ndi utapata there are things that they are said that were not actually
kama yakisema yeye afanyiwa Kenya kazi anafanyia watoto wake.
Unaona? So ni vizuri kwamba tukue na ile uhakika kwa sababu there's a lot of propaganda running around and you know we understand we are in that space, opposition is involved.
To elaborate.
In the opposition.
Mimi napenda. Elaborate
unajua yeye alikuwa amesimama atasimama. So siwezi jua na chama gani.
Okay, so okay, you know we're running out of time, but I guess tumepata point. You mentioned how the economy by all means necessary ilibidi kukuwe na tough decisions had to be made, some sacrifices had to be made, and you've told us that things will look good especially next year moving forward. Things on a positive trajectory, tukuwe tu patient kiasi.
Patient ni virtue.
Tough decisions had to be made. Nimependa. Asante sana Honorable Samuel Masaki.
Na kitu mzuri kumalizia, we have a very listening president.
Oh really?
Yes. The president is listening especially to young people. He is very accessible. This is the first time we are accessing the president. Like he's not that complicated. President mnakane tunamwambia kwamba hizi vitu inaenda hivi, anamwambia no, let's look at this.
Na mimi na like juu watu wengi wanajaribu kumwambia prezo sukari unga aski
na si unga imerudi chini. Si unga iko imerudi.
Sahi.
Unga imerudi chini. Unajua sasa shida
na housing levy.
Housing levy.
Alitusikia kweli.
Si amesikia koti. Kama amesikia koti.
You're so good. Thank you so much Mheshimiwa
Masaki.
Once again wase when you Honorable Samuel Masaki, senior UDA official, is a lawyer and the UDA Director Youth Affairs. So anakuanga na sisi hapa hivi kwa ground of course. No umesikia, he has actually said his door is open for youth. Yeah, that's the way we just go and find where his office is and go and knock there.
They can also follow me in my handles. Masaki on Instagram, on TikTok.
We get kwa DM, tell you anything.
Ofisi kako wapi?
Ofisi yangu iko pale KCC.
Wow.
That's
intimidating.
Yes. No, but young is more accessible. Yeah, mimi ukikuja pale unasema naenda kuona youth representative.
Very fast.
Very fast.
Wow.
Wakuje tukae chini tuongee yale ambayo tunaweza saidiana, tutasaidiana yale wanataka tuzungumzie. No. We have not said they said when you talk about privatization, does not mean necessarily that they're going to sell. They're going to sell it. Yes. It's commercializing it so that it's profitable. Because why should you have a property that is valued over 30 billion, but you're spending, but is only generating 29 million? It is of no use. Because most of the things there, most of the occupants there, they're just offices. Why can't we just commercialize it? Not sell it, commercialize it so that it's more profitable to Kenyans. Yes, because this is a national asset.
Wakenya
Sasa,
wana
asante
shida
sana.
na hiyo. Kushikilia hiyo pesa tuifanyile kazi nafaa.
Thanks a lot, Mheshimiwa. That is Honorable Samuel Masaki. Like I told you guys, the UDA Director Youth Affairs and of course a member, senior member of the UDA government. Aya, tukirudi, it is all about mjadala. Hey.
Hatari.
And aninoma, you know, it's a holiday season. So we're being freaky. Talk about something nice. Phone lines.
On a easy Monday.
This is the Modern Vibes on Vibes Radio.